elbow to the face.
But I mean, I think the main thing, even though she probably was a bit unlucky, is that you can't lead with the elbow.
No, you can't.
Into a challenge, and that's the main thing. So
will your Lions get over the line, Samuel?
I've learnt not to say yes to when Brisbane asked that question, but I don't know. Brisbane, they've been probably, I would still say, lucky. They played well against Fremantle, but you could see that Fremantle were sort of making the mistakes, and were getting frustrated. And Brisbane did well to come over the line. I'm gonna back Brisbane probably. I would probably say I'm gonna back Brisbane. What do you fellas think?
I'm going to go against everything I've said against Freo for the last 2 weeks, pumping them up. I'm just going to go with Brisbane with this one. I reckon Taylor Harris will have a big impact. Even though Antonio is coming back in, I reckon she'll kick a couple and they'll get over the line.
This is a really tough one for me because Collingwood have shown signs here and there. But
yeah, for sure.
I think it comes down to whether they manage to mark Mo Hope like she's been marked in the last couple of weeks. If they mark her, then I think Brisbane get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Brisbane by a goal. I think it's going to be a really close
It's going to be an
one.
interesting battle of the two big forwards.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
But I think Harris she's shown that she's a bit more explosive around the ground. I mean, getting quite a few possessions. We'll speak about that in our votes a bit later, but...
And she actually got the Rising Star as well for the weekend.
Yeah.
Who else got that, Lucy? I think
Rising Star.
Was it Mithun?
Lily
and
Mithun.
Mithun, she did.
For
play
Melbourne.
the 18
She
well.
played very well, But no, I think Collingwood also last week against Melbourne just looked unfit. Like, they started off really strong and just completely dropped off. So I think Brisbane finishing the way that they did, because that game against Freo was pretty much even the whole way through, and then they got away in the end. So I think that could also help them over Collingwood. But I think the best game of the round will, of course, be a Carlton game. And
because you work at Carlton, of course, and know all the players so well. There we go.
And but seriously, Carlton first away game against Adelaide.
That's going to be that's my tip. Game of the round.
Game
Calling
of the
it now.
Game of the round.
Plus it's top of the table clash. So with players like Erin Phillips and Sarah Tex Perkins, as she is now known, and who's the other Adelaide player that's played? Phillips. Ebony Marinoff.
She's been something special as well.
They're Chelsea Randall as well, playing against a very informed Adelaide side. Carlton sort of just getting away after a scare from GWS last week. So it could be a really good. It will be a really good game on Sunday to close out the round.
I just want to talk about for a minute or so the Tex factor.
Oh.
Sarah Tex Perkins. She's been, just an absolute X factor really in the forward line. She lost 40 kilos before the season to get fit. Was picked as a rookie. So, no one had even really heard of her. And she's just, taken the competition by storm. Cult hero at Adelaide. Loving her work, Benno.
I think that's a factor of the AFLW, though. Because, comparatively not many people have heard of these players, there have been some steals. And I think it shows that if you just work hard, you can make it. And it's just Adelaide have a lot of, good players. As we mentioned, Marinoff, Phillips coming over from the WNBA, and I think it just shows that good recruiting will win this league for the first couple of years anyway, I reckon. And I think that Sunday's game, Carlton versus Adelaide, that's my tip for the grand final this year, I reckon.
Yeah. I think that's a good call.
No one, and we all doubted the Crows at the start of the year, didn't we?
I was
half
very
their team
skeptical.
training in Northern Territory.
Yeah, half their team was split between. Was half the team they hadn't played together until pre-season, and you can notice that every game they're getting a lot tighter knit, but they're formidable, and I think at this stage that'd be my tip for premiers.
Yeah. I would say so.
It is.
For sure.
It does hurt me to say it, but I think
you're gonna have to go against.
You're gonna have to go against it, Clark.
I know. And so just to wrap up our preview, let's go into our AFLW Player of the Year votes. Let's start with you, Dan.
Well, I went one vote with Brianna Davey, again just racking up a heap of footy against GWS, and it was a pretty even competition game all round, but I think she was probably one of the better players in that match. 2 votes I'm going with Marinoff for Crows. She had 18 and quite a lot of tackles. And I think about 15 of her 18 disposals were kicks. So she really got the ball moving out of the middle against the Dogs, and along with Phillips, got them over the line. And 3 votes has to go to the rising star, Taylor Harris. Kicked a couple, 17 touches, and just, was something special at was it Fremantle Oval on Sunday?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
How about yourself, Sam?
I went one vote, Ali Blackburn. She had 19 touches, 13 kicks. She really impressed me on Friday night. She has a lot of pace, and her ability to just break through players, break through contests with the ball really impressed me. She faded out a little bit towards the end, but her first half was really impressive for me. 2 votes, I've gone Emma Kearney. She had 23 touches, 13 kicks, 10 handballs.
She was amazing.
Just ran the show pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
No one could really stop her. And she did her best to get the Dogs over the line, but in the end, Adelaide were just too strong. And then 3 votes, of course, I had to go Taylor Harris. She's been impressive. She had 7 contested marks in an hour game, which is unheard of.
That's crazy.
Much.
You wouldn't get a full AFL game.
No, very rarely does that. Including a really good contested mark at the end of the game and to kick the winning goal. One of her 2 goals pretty much got Brisbane over the line. So that's 3 votes for me.
Yes, well, I've gone a bit different, I think, to everyone. I think for me, the comeback by Melbourne was just one of the highlights of the weekend. So for my 1 vote, I went for Daisy Pearce, who was sort of quiet in the first half against Collingwood, but then when she saw the game was for the taking in the second half, really took on her role as captain and led Melbourne through for a win. For 2 votes, I've gone Taylor Harris. A lot has been said about her, already. So don't really need to say much about that in Brisbane. She's quite amazing. And then 3 votes, I actually went for Karen Paxman, who for Melbourne had, I think, 19 disposals, kicked a goal and kicked a goal at a very crucial time for Melbourne. So she was very, very amazing. Ben, what about you?
Well, I've got similar votes. I went 1 vote, Erin Phillips. I mean, I've said about her today, but I just think she's one of the surprise packets of the year, and she'd be a sneaky chance for league best and fairest. I think she's got that right combination of flashy when she needs to be, but she gets in there, she extracts the ball. She sets up a lot of play. She's really marshalling that Adelaide side, I reckon. I wouldn't say it's going unnoticed, but I think when you've got players like Marinoff floating around and obviously Sarah Perkins, the hype tends to stay a bit away from Erin Phillips, but I think as the season goes on, she's going to emerge as one of the stars of this league.
Beno's big call.
I would say she is already, but I think she'll be up there in terms of league best and fairest voting. 2 votes, Taylor Harris. Don't need to say anymore. Just basically won the game off her own back, I would be out there to say. And then 3 to Marinoff. I mean, Adelaide played so well against the Bulldogs. Everyone was kind of expecting the Bulldogs to put up a real fight. To me, it wasn't really a fight at all. I reckon the 4-goal scoreline almost flatters the Bulldogs a little bit.
The Bulldogs were very inaccurate.
They were very
2-11 they kicked, didn't they?
Very ordinary.
Some absolute sitters as well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
not that I could kick them, but
look, I wouldn't be able to kick them, but it doesn't stop me talking about it on the radio.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I just think Bulldogs were really ordinary, and Marinoff was a large part of how well they played. I mean, she was just getting ball at will, and yeah, she was my player for the round. Yeah, I just think Adelaide, they're gonna take some stopping, and
they really are, yeah.
But I think Carlton could be the team to do it, not only in terms of players, but I've been really impressed with Carlton's strategies and tactics, coming out, because most teams would have, in the first round, most teams would have gone 1-on-1 with Hope and just kind of try and 3-on-1. They took a massive risk shutting her down, but it exposed Collingwood, and I think other teams have picked up on it.
Yeah, exactly. They picked up on it, and I think I said this last week, but the ability for Carlton to effectively give up 3 players to mark Mo Hope and still be able to effectively get the ball out of the back line through the mids and to Darcy Vesio in the forward line and to win by the margin that they did, effectively sacrificing those players is pretty impressive. Yeah. That wraps up our sort of preview for the AFLW this weekend. So it's going to be a really, really good weekend of AFLW once again. But after the song, we're going to share our interview with Southern Stars and Sydney Sixers player Sarah Alley. We had the opportunity to talk to her yesterday. So, what's the song?
This is January 26th, featuring Dan Sultan by AB Original, and you're listening to Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM.
And welcome back to the Sports Desk on 90.7 FM. That was AB Original featuring Dan Sultan with January 26. As mentioned before, we went to the song. The Sports Desk had the opportunity to interview Sarah Ali, who has just recently been picked for her debut with the Australian women's cricket side, the Southern Stars, off the back of a very, very impressive WBBL season where she was named player of the final in the Sydney Sixers win over the Scorchers and also was the leading wicket taker for WBBL 2. So without further ado, here's our interview with Sarah Ali. And that was our interview with Sarah Ali. It was really, really, really great to talk to her, and she really gave us some really, really good answers to her questions. And what a great story. 32 years of age and just been called up to the Australian squad, who do play today against the White Ferns in the opening game of their 2020 series at the MCG. Yeah.
And continuing the theme of older players finally getting their national call up, we're going to go to
good segue, Samuel.
As well. Thank you, everyone. With Michael Klinger. He made his first-class debut. Benno's hailing. That's how happy
the great man, Klinger. He's dominated the BBL for the best part of 6 years. And
3 Australian states he's played for, 2 English counties, debuted in 99, and he's got the record for the most runs in his career without playing an international match, 22,000. And he finally gets...
That is ridiculous.
He's been digging in our stats, man, Samuel Curtis.
Thanks, Cricinfo.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
And he finally gets his debut.
That's
a story we like.
Ben Dunk gets his debut. Is that his debut?
I saw he had 3 caps in 2014.
Gee, you've been checking Cricinfo as well.
Good website.
Research, very good research.
He joins Joe Richardson and Ashton Turner as well.
To the two Scorchers lads.
Is Ty not playing?
No, Ty. It's possible. We're talking possible here.
Yeah, this is hypothetical. Yeah, he's in the frame.
Is it?
Yeah, I love Ty. The big gold chain just hanging off his hairy chest.
Meanwhile, for Sri Lanka, Lasith Malinga. Lasith Malinga makes his return.
The show just took an interesting
turn.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, he's a great bowler.
Trying to keep it on track, and Dan's just looking at me giggling.
All right, let's get back to the
Yes. For Sri Lanka, Lasith Malinga returns.
Oh, he looks in good form, by the way.
Took a wicket in the first over the President's match.
Did you see that?
PM match last night.
So he's just ambled in as he does, swung in, absolutely middle peg, flying.
Has he still got the blonde tips on the long?
I think he got rid of them.
I think he got rid of them.
Yeah.
Has he still got the long locks, or is it short?
I think he still has long hair.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good to see.
I think he has hair like Ben,
What?
Nice, long and curly.
Luxurious.
Oh, that's going to be balding in a couple of years.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate.
But no, yes.
On Facebook later today, you can see a photo of Dan with Ty Vickery hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but very, very exciting matches coming up. Good to see that they're all double headers with the women. So it's
fantastic.
Also taking cricket out to Geelong on Sunday. Cardinia Park.
Or whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's still Cardinia Park.
It's not even Simmons Stadium
Simmons
anymore.
Stadium.
It's like
really?
GNM. I don't even know. Sorry, not allowed to advertise sponsors.
So MCG tonight, Cardinia Park on Sunday, and then Radelaide on Wednesday.
Radelaide.
Yeah.
And the
City
best
of
part about
Churches.
that is that it finishes on Wednesday, and Thursday we go to India.
Yeah.
So
It's fantastic. Lucky that no one who's in the T20 side's actually playing in
they're
India.
They're actually all playing at the moment in a tour match, which starts today. So Australia's pretty much playing their Australia
Shows what's
race.
more
So-
important in the Australian cricketing
So it's
scene.
been hard for the selectors to choose a probably strong T20 Australia
Oh, yeah.
squad.
Yeah, considering that Smith, Warner, Stark, Hazelwood, they're all in India at the
Maxwell.
moment.
It's an interesting exercise for them though, because it's like, I mean, Finch finally he's back in the team.
Yeah.
I mean, Payne. I think it's a good side, and I think it's also a kind of a reward for those that played well
in the
Yeah.
BBL.
In
Yeah.
BBL.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good idea as well, rewarding players who are playing well in our domestic league.
Unlike with the Sheffield Shield, where they just pick, a random bloke who's averaging
Swepson.
30.
Yeah.
But this is pretty interesting as well to see how much people care about T20s when there's a Test series coming up. But we're going to go to a song now anyway.
This is Barrow with What Do You Believe In, and you're listening to Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM.
And welcome back to the Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM. That was Barrow with What Do You Believe In? Best song I've heard on the Sports Desk all season. Thanks, Ben.
No worries, guys. I'm here to please.
Bit of a backhanded compliment to
Yeah,
music choice.
God, those music
Well, to
selections
be
before.
fair, Lucy has brought in the CDs for the last 2 weeks. So.
All right. Okay. Ooh. Anyway, back to the sport.
Yeah.
This
Fine. Back to the
weekend,
music
there's
show.
another massive round of the A-League. Sam, our resident A-League expert,
Yeah,
is
that's
going
me.
to give us a few...
Don't know much about footy, but I'll talk around ball.
Yeah.
There's been a bit of conjecture recently behind the scenes in the A-League. A couple of clubs are unhappy with how things been running, especially things like expansion. The Victory chief CEO just came out and said that the clubs aren't really getting a good deal. Postacoglu is saying that there's time to expansion as well. So the A-League's stagnating a little bit at the moment. There's a lot of conjecture there. They're not really sure what's going to happen. There was rumours of a split between the A-League and the FFA, which is pretty unfounded, I'll be honest with you. It's just all
so no FFA Cup at all?
More just as in like the A-League are going to go off and run their own thing kind of thing.
Yeah, because the A-League's been running at a loss the whole
it
time
has.
it's been running and things like that. And I have heard there's been like talks between the Players Association and the A-League.
Yeah, they're
which
meeting
there was a meeting the other day because I got the press release and they sort of all the press release said was that they didn't get anywhere in the talks.
Yeah,
and that was it.
And that's been a pretty recurring theme between all the parties in the A-League recently. So we'll wait and see for a bit more founded rumours, but that's what's happening behind the scenes at the moment. But in a bit more closer to home, we're going to we're going to start off this week's preview by just talking quickly about last week because that makes sense.
Yep.
So
As you do.
City were down 2-0 at half time when they played the Raw. They were missing all their players due to suspension. Jamie McLaren scored a first half double. And then City scored 2 goals, 3 minutes between each other in the around the hour mark to make it 2-2. It's a pretty good result
Great
for them.
effort.
Yeah, they had
very good
none of
result.
their team in.
Absolutely take that.
Yeah, and Brisbane a third as well.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say, I was like, because if they lost that game, they were going to be out of the 4.
yeah,
Brisbane
they
would
were
be
out of the
absolutely
four.
spewing they choked in
Yeah,
that
but-
one.
Yeah.
Pretty disappointing for Brisbane. And Victory drew 0-0 against Newcastle. Not for the first time this season. We're going to say they were fairly outclassed by Newcastle as well.
And a pretty lackluster affair.
Oh,
wasn't it?
yeah, not much went on. There was a couple of saves in the first half that Lawrence Thomas had to make. Jajewski hit the bottom of the post in about the 70th. And then Victory had a couple of penalty shouts denied as well, which is nothing new for a team that has Barisha up
No,
front.
literally.
But yeah, that was 0-0. But this week, Australia's favourite derby. Sorry,
The
lads.
Sydney derby.
Sorry,
Oh, the
lads.
Sydney derby.
Forget about Anzac Day. Forget about whatever what you have. Sydney derby's
Forget the
where to
Q
be.
clash in the AFL.
Forget the Q clash. This is
Battle of the Bridge.
But yeah, the Sydney derby, it's always good. It's always a lot of passion, always a lot of colour. Even if the derbies have been a pretty one-sided affair recently, Sydney haven't lost a derby in 37 months since January 2014.
Ooh.
Sydney
That
first
was
as well.
that the year that Wanderers were like smashing
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
competition?
that was
They
when-
sort of came in.
That was just
yeah.
after they won the ACL as
Yeah.
well, which is a huge effort for any club.
It was against Al, what was it?
It was against a Saudi Arabian
Yeah.
team that no one's really sure about. Sydney are looking to go 20 undefeated as well, which is pretty insane. They're looking
that's
to
right,
break,
yeah. They're
and to
still
break
on
the
that.
points record for the A-League. They're only if
Jesus.
they only need 15 more points from 7 matches to do that. So we'll see how that goes.
That would be pretty amazing if
That's
they went a
nuts.
whole it's a whole season now, isn't it? Undefeated.
So we're in round 20, so there's only 7 more games after this week
Yeah.
only. They're looking close to it. I still can't imagine them doing it, but that would be
Yeah.
amazing.
It would be pretty amazing if they did it. I mean, it's a pretty amazing run already to go.
Mm.
Oh
unbeaten
yeah,
that
for sure.
far.
I mean, like everyone's kind of saying now, there's no one's really going to be able to beat Sydney. Victory are away to Central Coast on Sunday Arvo.
Central Coast have been playing really well, haven't they?
Central Coast have been playing really well. They're 9th, but they've won their last 3 matches, only conceded 1 goal
Could be
in
a
those
bit
3.
of a danger match. For
Yeah.
Victory.
Yeah, definitely. And Central Coast can go into the top 6 with a win
Ooh.
if results go their way, which shows you how close that lower half of the table is. Victory have only won 1 of their last 5 matches.
Yeah, it'd almost be
but,
tipping a draw or Central Coast.
I'd
especially.
be thinking a draw here.
Yeah.
I can't see Victory completely losing this one. But then again, we know how Victory are, very inconsistent. And they also haven't lost to Central Coast in 10 matches.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. And then City are away to Wellington. City have 6 players returning from suspension, and both teams are in pretty poor form. And if City lose, they can drop out of the top 4. and midfield's the key for this match. City rely on good service to their front three, and Wellington play pretty counter-attacking
Are they
style.
getting many of their players back?
Yeah, so pretty much everyone that was suspended last week. So Fornaroli, Brandan, Cahill, everyone comes back this
Except
week.
for the goalkeeper.
Except for Bazanis, yeah, he's out for a while.
Yeah,
but Sorensen played pretty well last
Yeah.
week as well. And a pretty impressive thing last week was there was a kid who was born in 2000 who debuted for City. And Sorensen, their keeper, had already been playing professional football for, I think, 3 years.
Yeah, I think so.
Something outrageous like that, yeah.
Makes us question what we're doing with
Bit
our
of-
lives right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, after the AFLW as well, all we do is sit here and talk about people our age. They're just
Yeah.
doing better than
Oh,
us.
yeah. Said I'm like older than like so many of the Carlton girls, and I'm like, oh god, I need to get it together.
The draft year is 1999 for footy this year.
That's outrageous.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty outrageous.
When it gets to like 2000, you're like, oh, I'm old now.
Yeah.
That's
The
how it
millennials.
feels.
Oh, to be
Yeah.
fair, we're all only, 19, so we can probably
Yeah.
settle down a little
Well,
bit
And,
still.
Well, not me, but
I
that's
believe
okay.
Benno was at the footy last night. What happened in,
Yeah,
in
we
that
had a
affair, the
Benno.
JLT
Oh,
Community Series that
look.
everyone cares about so much?
Look, it was a great game. Just happy that the boys got some run in their
Yeah,
legs.
of course. But
Really?
you were pretty happy, I think, when you were 24 points up
Yeah,
at three-quarter time.
Honestly,
is that
I
right?
think what I think happened was we just ran out of steam. I mean, I can't really say that we were resting because Collingwood was resting too, though. I think they had Fasolo and Elliott on the bench in the second half. We just got run over. I mean, we outplayed them in the first half, I would say, pretty comprehensively.
Yeah.
And then, I think whatever you want to put it down to, I think what I saw enough from McGrath, I saw enough from our team. Fantasia was
4 goals.
electric. We might have a crumbing forward. And we've been saying about Fantasia for a little while, but
He was good last year as well.
he was
Yeah.
good last
Stood up
year,
when-
but he didn't have, I don't think he had the personnel around him
and
to
the
really
supply
excel.
either.
But I think if we can get the ball in his hands more often than not, we might have a good combination of Danaher, Stewart, Hooker if he's playing down there.
Or McKernan. He played very well.
Surprise packet of the night for me. He played very well. He was clunking some marks.
The
and-
surprise packet for me, though, was Lyndon Dunn's 9-point bomb.
Oh, that was a bomb.
Handballed off outside the 50 and then just launches.
Happened
from
about 10 metres
45
away
degree
from
angle.
me. I was just watching it.
Thinking, no way.
I'm just like, no way. Lyndon Dunn, what have you done?
That's punny, Benno. He played
Give up.
I think he played 1 game for the D's last year. Spent
Yeah.
most of the time in the seconds, but he probably has a spot there for the
I reckon
Pies.
there's a spot there for him. I mean, they want to free up Adams. They want to free up Howe. I reckon there's a spot there for him.
Yeah,
If
definitely.
he needs to take it this pre-season, though, because there are some players knocking on the door.
Yeah, and there's plenty of other matches on this weekend. I believe it's Sydney North. Is that one of them?
I think, Sydney North.
Sydney
that
North,
might be
yeah.
on Sunday. And Hawthorn Geelong's on tonight.
Oh,
which
that'll be.
that's actually going
that's
to
the
be...
real
Has he,
story
isn't it?
here is Jared Roughhead back. That's
Well,
just
Roughhead and O'Meara back.
fantastic.
That's going to
Yeah.
be... I reckon they're going to pack that out. I mean, Roughhead being back, if he can...
That's huge.
As
yeah.
captain
it's
as
awesome.
well, I mean, obviously, we're going to talk about it once season proper comes back, but the fact that he's managed to recover from what's happened to him, to come back, to not only be able to play, but to captain Hawthorn.
It's
That's
a,
incredible.
It's huge.
That's
That is-
impressive effort,
You,
yeah.
you can't expect a lot tonight, though. Admittedly,
Obviously, like,
because
I just
he's
hope
been
he gets
very
through
limited.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just got to pray for him, and everyone's going to cheer anytime he gets
Yeah.
near the ball, and it's just going to be fantastic. Same with Job last night as well. Everyone,
Look,
everyone cheered
maybe
for different
not.
reasons, but
There were a few boos.
Was there a few boos?
He's always going to be followed by boos, though, because people see him as the face
Brownlow
of it.
medalist.
Whereas I
who
think
got it
that
taken away.
I think that Roughhead was loved even beforehand. I've always loved Roughhead, even through
The
my
big
hate.
rough.
He's just a legend, and to see him back, it's good for the AFL, I reckon.
And exciting times for Sam here. The Q Clash. Another
Oh,
is
big.
on
I wasn't even aware, to be honest with you.
Sunday afternoon at
if you
some
don't-
oval in either Gold Coast or Brisbane. I'm not quite sure.
That
but
pretty much sums up. It's just some game between some teams.
is Brisbane going to get the chocolates?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't really have much.
March champions.
Nah, I don't really have much hope for Brisbane this year.
Yeah.
I think the same with Gold Coast. It's probably not a game of the round that we're going to recommend.
Yeah.
I'd recommend you to watch the women's match over the
Yeah,
the
I
men's.
agree.
Oh,
that-
absolutely.
For sure.
I think
100%.
everyone should watch the women's matches over the men's matches.
I think this
Definitely.
week
Putting
for
it out
sure.
there.
Yeah.
I think there should be equality in. Can't we all just get along?
True. Oh, yeah, we don't have time to talk about it, but I did hear someone saying in the media that I think it was Tim Watson actually, that the AFL should get rid of the AFL preseason competition now that they have the AFLW.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
I just think the AFL won't, because it's like free money.
Yeah,
It's
and
pretty much free money.
The community series, it's
like
a little
getting
bit iffy.
Which is a
isn't
bit
it?
weird. They call it Community Series and they play the first match at Etihad.
Yeah.
That doesn't really
Yeah,
make sense.
Most of the other games are at community sort of
Community
stadiums,
grounds, yeah.
to be fair, but yeah.
I think though, I'm not
think-
sure why they're not playing at places like Optus Oval, or they didn't play like games
I
like
think
last
they are
night. Like
playing.
Optus Oval.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they are doing
it should be,
There's a
because
doubleheader on.
Just quickly on that, Luke.
There you
I
go.
tend to
go.
agree with. I actually tend to agree with Tim Watson in terms of maybe an organised thing. But if they manage to make it unofficially, like organise the scratch matches before or after the women's game, I think that would just be good, even for the next couple of years. And then, I mean, people are losing interest in the preseason every year simply because it's not a cup format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back the Wizard Cup.
Wizard Cup.
Do not.
Wizard Cup.
I heard a Fremantle player getting interviewed at the AFLW game, like a men's player, call it the NAB Cup, and then immediately after he said the NAB Cup, he just said, "Oh, I shouldn't have said that." And I was like, yeah, I think you need to be kept up to date with what's going on as well. So yeah, I just love that he was just like, it's not called that anymore. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. So we're going to go to a song before we wrap up the show today. And what are we going to play, Ben?
This is Beck with Wow, and you're listening to Sports Desk on SYN 90.7 FM.
That was Beck with Wow, and this is the Sports Desk on SYN at 90.7 FM. We've had another great show, another case of time flies when you're having fun.
Oh,
I know.
how sweet.
Oh.
But it's
And
been a big show. We had our preview of the AFLW, interview with Sarah Alley, which you can catch on the SYN Sports Desk Facebook later on today, along with our AFLW votes. But to finish up the show, I just want to mention that this weekend the new Netball Super League starts. So
get excited.
Yeah,
This will
exactly.
be pretty big. GWS and Collingwood have sides in this. The GWS Rebels and the Collingwood
Magpies.
I think it's
Yeah,
Magpies,
Magpies,
Probably
yeah.
it's Magpies, but yeah.
Collingwood Blues.
Yeah, and then also Melbourne Storm, interestingly, are affiliated with Sunshine Coast Lightning, I think they're
Yeah.
called. So big moment for women in sport in that it's
Fantastic
the
stuff.
biggest ever broadcast partnership for a women's sport. These athletes are now the highest paid women's athletes in the country, and they've split with the New Zealand Netball Association, so it's just a Australian-based competition. So that all kicks off this weekend, which is, very exciting. And that's our show for today. We'll be back on Monday at 9 a.m. on 90.7 FM. And us for Ben, Sam, Dan and myself, Lucy, we'll be back next Friday.
Thank you very
at
much.
9 a.m.
Thank
Ciao.
you. See you
Yeah.
later.